Biomechanical Analysis of Running by Humphrey. My theoretical model and description of running. When I am analyzing an athlete running, I'm looking for key movements and actions starting with posture. Posture should be a neutral position, head and spine in a neutral upright position with hips up and forward. Up, down, side to side, and turning movements should not be present. Other improper movements are rotation in the hip and or thoracic regions. The next area to focus on is arm action. If the legs are the engine, then the arms are the ignition. Arms should be flexed 90 degrees at the elbows and rotate at the shoulder. Arm and leg action is contralateral movement in the sagittal plane. Last and certainly not least is hip extension, flexion, stride length, and ground contact. Full hip extension should occur along with full ankle plantar flexion. Stride length should be appropriate for the length of the athlete, minimizing the braking effect of heel strike. Contact should be made with the ball of the foot near midline, and foot should not rotate internally or externally. And now we'll see a video in slow motion from the side view and front view of the athlete running. When observing the athlete, I notice the athlete demonstrates good mechanics throughout the lower leg and the push-off. However, the upper leg, hips, core, and posture need work. Knee drive of the athlete should create 75 to 90 degrees of hip flexion. The individual is only getting 58 to 63 degrees. Foot strike is not below the center of gravity, causing heel strike and braking effects. Many of the movement deficiencies are caused by an apparent weakness of already shortened hip flexors. The angle between thighs in the flight phase should be around 150 degrees, and the athlete is only achieving around 90 degrees. As you can see here, arm action is crossing midline. Otherwise, from this view, the athlete is fairly good mechanically, with very little slight rotation of the foot, but it is corrected before ground contact. Analysis of the side view shows more errors. Forward lean should be no more than 5 degrees, and the athlete shows a forward lean there of 20 degrees. Hip flexion should be between 75 and 90 degrees of hip flexion, and currently the athlete shows 50 degrees. Hip extension, it looks less due to the forward lean of the upper body. Corrective exercises and drills for the athlete to perform. The first picture shows a band-assisted hip flexor stretch. The second picture shows leg recovery and fast claw drill. And the third picture is an eccentric hamstring strengthening exercise. Other exercises to be used will be glute activation and strengthening techniques with bands and anti-rotational core exercises such as the Palov press. Band-assisted hip flexor stretch. Leg recovery drill. Ankle is dorsiflexed, lower leg is folded underneath the hamstring, hip is flexed. Followed by fast claw action drill. Knee is driven straight down, Lower leg is released similar to a pendulum with a clawing action with the ball of the foot under the center of gravity. Eccentric hamstring exercise. After 4 weeks of implementing corrective exercises and verbal coaching, the athlete has made improvements, which we will see in the following films. There is still more work to be done. The runner shows improved arm action, crossing the midline less, more upright posture. The upright posture now brings to light the hip flexion. It's even less due to the upright posture. The weak hip flexors become extremely obvious. Now, the upright posture, we see a difference in hip flexion angle. Foot strike still slightly ahead of center of gravity. When comparing before and after, noticeable changes have occurred in the athlete's mechanics. The biggest difference is the decreased forward lean. Prior to this analysis, the individual experienced hamstring pain when running, and that decreased noticeably. The decrease in hamstring pain can be from less stretch on it due to improved posture and the addition of the eccentric hamstring strengthening exercises. As we continue forward, we will continue to work on mobility issues and focus on strengthening hip flexors and core musculature to increase hip flexion and decrease rotational movement of the spine. The picture shows low hip flexion, and you can also see the shoulders rotating towards the camera. I'm going to end with a video comparison of the before and after running. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.